Let's find ourselves in a comfortable seated position. Focus on your next in-breath, drawing right to that final point where you fill the chest. Hold a pause. Exhale fully. Still mind, still body. Begin to bring a sense of openness through your palms, and then draw your thumb and your first finger together, tapping for 3, and then move across individually, thumb to each finger with that gentle tap. Let your palms fall open and release once again, a softness, and then inhaling again, tapping, thumb to first finger. 3 taps as we journey all the way through to our final finger, little finger, thumb. Hold your palms open and relaxed. Lifting your hands away from your legs, palms together, and draw your thumbs in towards your breastbone. Inhale deeply and exhale. Placing your palms flat down, wrapping around your knees. We're leaning across to the right side, left shoulder to the right knee. And push down through your left palm to your left leg, opening out through that hip. Leaning forward and down. Bringing ourselves back to the center and moving across to the opposite side. As we lean forward and down with our spine, we allow a little bit of pressure to push down through our right palm against the right knee, opening through the hip, lengthening through the spine, and we hold and breathe. Bring ourselves back to a tall seated position and place the soles of your feet down flat, legs wide. Drop your legs across to the right side. Sweep your gaze to the left. Tall spine, low legs. Knees to the center, floating across to the opposite side. And wrap your gaze in the opposite direction that your legs fall to. We're going to work through this movement, but bring a little bit more depth in our body. So swing the knees over once again to the right, and then rotate your torso around to the right side. Set your gaze directly behind you. We're still sitting tall in our spine, but we've just rotated through our trunk. Bring yourself back to the center and swapping over sides. Once again, find yourself in the center, crossing your feet. Set your forearms one on top of the other and fold forward and down. Allow your head to bow forward. Inhale, and as you exhale, feel a softness and a warmth spread across your lower back. Lifting the forearms away from the floor, coming back to a tall spine, your arms level with the shoulders. Loop your right arm under the left. And draw your left arm across the body and sweep your gaze in the opposite direction. Inhale in a tall spine, and exhale as you draw that arm across a little deeper. Right hand to your left elbow and draw your arms up overhead and set your left fingertips to your left shoulder blade. Level chin, tall spine. Coming back to the center, loop your left arm under the right. Gliding your right arm across the body. Sweep your gaze in the opposite direction. We're anchored down through the sit bones and tall in our spine. Back to the center, left hand to your right elbow as you sweep the arms up overhead. Those right fingertips settling to the right shoulder blade. Now draw your arms up high overhead, interlacing your fingers and twin your palms up towards the ceiling. Lengthen the sides of your body. Inhale. Exhale, lean across to the right side. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale as you lean across to the left. Bring ourselves back to the center again. The forearms stack one on top of the other, and we fold forward and down as we exhale. Lifting your forearms away, lift your gaze. Uncross your feet and place the soles of your feet down flat, drawing ourselves to a forward fold. Take your feet about halfway apart, so about 3 to 4 feet apart with your heels and toes out. Lift your body, arms level with the shoulder line, and then set your fingertips to your hip bones. Inhale, and as you exhale, bend your knees over the heels, hands to your knees again. We're bringing a different version of that pose that we tried at the beginning of the class. So again, we use the pressure of our left hand against the left knee. Swap over sides, leaning forward as you draw now the right knee away from the body. And we're turning across to the left side and sitting a low lunge. Your front knee stays over the ankle. Sweep the arms up high to the sky, shoulders over the hips, chin level. Floating your palms forward and down. We're creeping ourselves back to the center to our wide lunge. Push the floor away, roll up through your spine, arms level with the shoulder line. Bend your knees as you set your hands to your hip bones, and then palms to your kneecaps once again. Lean across to the left knee this time. Inhale to the center, exhale as you travel across to the opposite side. Now let's bring ourselves down to our low lunge on the right side. And lift your fingertips high to the sky. Feel a sense of the rib cage lifting up and away from the hip bones. Floating your hands forward and down. Resetting ourselves to our wide leg pose, palms under the shoulder line. Allow yourself to bow forward and down, palms flat, crown of the head towards your mat. Begin to push the floor away as you roll yourself back up and creep across to the left side. Set your right heel down on a 45-degree angle, left knee over the ankle. Lift your fingertips up and away, sitting Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, your shoulder blades evenly set to the short edge of your mat. And we hold and breathe. Full inhalation, and as we exhale, opening your arms out level with the shoulder line, Virabhadrasana 2. The energy of this pose from the center of your body reaching out and away, fingertips, toes. Tilting forward towards the left. Sweep up and over, reverse warrior. Gazing up at your outstretched palm. Inhale. Exhale, straighten out your bent knee. Keeping your legs straight. Lift your arms level with the shoulder line again, your shoulders over the hips. Inhale, tall body. And as you exhale, draw your right hip towards the right side. Tilt to the left and lower. Palm to the shin, or perhaps you set the palm flat to the floor underneath your shoulder line. Sack your shoulders, pushing that right hip bone back, lengthening your spine forward. Bring your lifted hand down onto your hip bone. Sweep your grounded hand in front and beside of your foot, and then lift that back leg up and away. Ardha Chandasana, half moon pose. Our energy and strength through both legs. Hand can glide away from the hip bone, and we stack shoulders and we stack hips. Your lifted leg creates space from the hip to the heel. Push your heel out and away from the hip. Folding forward and down, so set to both fingertips under your shoulder line. Keep your lengthened leg high. Level your hip bones to the mat. We inhale. And as we exhale, tilt your torso forward and down as your lifted leg glides a little bit higher. Nose towards your standing knee. And lift your gaze forward, long neck, flat back. And then tap the top of your lifted leg, foot down into the back of your heel. Top of the foot taps to the grounded heel, and then we lift and lengthen. So there's a sense of curling in and then lengthening long and strong. Firing up the energy in our core and our legs. Your lifted leg lowers all the way down to the mat. Your opposite leg sweeps up and across, keeping a bend in that top leg. Tall spine. Lift your opposite arm high to the sky, and then let that arm fall to the outside of your top bent knee, sitting tall in your spine as you inhale, and as you exhale, twist. We're just going to move forward so you can see a different position of the next poses that we have coming up. Staying in our twisted pose. Now let's de-rotate across to the opposite side. Our next movement is drawing into a kneeling eagle pose, so bring yourself forward onto that bottom knee and then tuck your top leg in so you're set onto both kneecaps and your legs are squeezed and tight beside each other. Lift the fingertips away from your mat. Glide your left arm forward. And then we loop left arm under right. Set your palms together, elbows level with the shoulder line. As you squeeze your legs together, we also bring the forearms out and away from the shoulder line to feel an openness across our shoulder blades. Now holding this pose, again I'm just going to move back to a side position. And trick here in this kneeling eagle pose is to tuck underneath your tailbone, pull your belly button into your spine as much as you can. Unwrap your arms, fingertips to the mat, and then lengthen out one leg long at a time, setting our high plank. Push the mat away as you float the hips high, heels drawing down and back, ears set to the inside of the arms, downward facing dog. Resetting ourselves to our wide leg pose. Palms flat under the shoulder line, folding forward and down, crown of the head once again towards the mat, and then travel across to the right side. That front leg, knee over ankle. Lift your fingertips high, resetting our Virabhadrasana 1. We're moving through the same sequence of moves on the opposite side. Opening our arms out as we set Virabhadrasana 2, a sense of energy spreading from the center of our body out and away. And glide out and away to the right side, tilting from your torso. Your legs are not moving. And sweep that front arm up and overhead, gazing upwards. Your opposite hand settles to the outside edge of your lengthened leg. Another long full inhalation, and as you exhale, straighten out your bent knee. And then reset your shoulders over the hips, straight arms, straight legs. Inhale, exhale. Your left hip bone travels to the left side as you tilt through your torso and then lower. Setting our triangle pose, Trikonasana. Inhale, push your left hip out and away. Exhale as you feel space in the bones in your back, reaching out through the crown of your head. Gazing down, reset a bend in your front leg. Sweep the fingertips in front and beside of that foot as you lift your back leg high. Foot is flexed, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Work on that space, hip to heel. Perhaps you float your hand away from the hip bone. And we hold and breathe. Your extended hand, we sweep back down, so sitting to both fingertips under the shoulder line, level out your hip bones. Long straight back, gaze is lifted. We inhale, and as we exhale, tilt from the hips. Lower your torso towards your standing leg as you let that lifted leg glide a little higher. And once again, come back to a long neck as you tuck the top of that lengthened leg's foot down to your back heel of your grounded leg. So we tap down and we lift and lengthen. I really want you to engage a sense of heat and strength in the body through this little sequence. Fire up. Now your lengthened leg, let it float all the way down to the mat. Setting that as your bottom leg, and your opposite leg we sweep up and across. Coming back to our seated twist pose. Exhale as we twist. Inhale, sit a little taller. Exhale, twist a little deeper. And de-rotating our twist across to the opposite side. And once again, we're going to set ourselves forward onto our kneeling eagle pose. So bring your arms back by the sides of the body, and then set your fingertips forward of your legs. Coming on to the bottom of that leg, into your kneecap, then set your front leg. The knees are stacked one in front of the other. Hips stack over the knees. Glide your right arm under the left, palms set together. Feel the strength in your body and this connection, the twist and the push away with your forearms. Holding this pose, again just travel across to the opposite side. Tuck under your tailbone, pull in your belly button. Then unwrap your arms, set your fingertips down to the mat. Lengthen out one leg long at a time, resetting our high plank. Engage your core, engage your legs. Push the floor away as you lift your hips high. Heels drain down and back, downward facing dog. Elongate your back. Coming back to our wide leg fold. Palms flat under the shoulder line, fold forward and down. Bring the fingertips forward under the shoulder line and tick-tock your feet in towards each other. Your heels end up under the hip bones. I'm going to slide the palms underneath the soles of the feet so your palms are facing up and your 10 toes are connected to the inside creases of your wrists. And then we're going to hinge forward and down from our hips, lowering the rib cage towards our thighs. Lift your gaze forward, long neck, long spine. Take your 2 first fingers and hook them around your big toes. Inhale. And as you exhale, send the elbows out and away to the side as you bend forward and down. Padahastasana. Lift your gaze. Send your left hand out to the side. Now float your left leg high, flexing your foot, bringing your heel as level to your hip bone as you can. Strong for the legs, strong for our balance and our focus. Let that left leg float back down. Rehook your left big toe. Your right fingertips set in front of the side of your right foot as you lift and glide the right leg high and level with the hip bone. Lift a little higher. Allow that leg to float back down. Across one leg behind the other and slowly lower yourself down to a seated position on your mat. Bring your left foot forward in front of your right. Wrap your hands underneath the sole of your foot or around your calf muscle as we lift and lengthen. We sit in a tall spine and we work on the space between our ears and our shoulders. Take your left hand to the inside arch of your foot and glide your left leg out and away from the body. Your right arm, reset your thumb and your first finger and sweep your gaze across to that connection that you've made, thumb and finger. Your right arm floats now across to the outside of your left leg as you guide your left leg over and across the body. We're always sweeping our gaze in the opposite direction of our leg. Bring your leg back to the center, wrapping your hands once again. Now lift that leg in a little closer toward your body. Set the sole of the foot down flat. And we're swapping over sides. Same set of movements. So find yourself evenly weighted through the sit bones first. Place your hands where you feel comfortable and we lift and lengthen. Space between our ears and our shoulders. Right hand inside of our right leg as we open out and away. Swapping over sides, left hand to the outside of our right leg, draw that leg across the body. Bring our leg back again to the center, and just for a moment draw that leg in a little closer, and then slowly lower down, sole of the foot flat to the floor. Stack your feet one in front of the other. Set the palms to your kneecaps once again. Drop your left shoulder to your right knee. It should feel a lot more open than when we first drew through this pose at the beginning part of the class. Coming back to the center, swapping over sides. Drawing back to the center, widen your legs, soles of the feet down flat, bend in your knees, drop your legs to the right side, sweep your gaze to the left. Really hoping that you have a little bit more movement and freedom in your body. Lift the legs, sweep them to the opposite side. Coming back to the center, drop the legs to the left again, and this time, lift the fingertips, rotate your trunk. Coming back to the center and moving across, opposite direction. Push down through your legs, sit with a tall spine. Focus on that rotation in your trunk. Bringing yourself so the soles of the feet come close to the top short edge of your mat, hands behind the thighs, and we're rolling all the way down onto our mat. Bring your fingertips and interlace your fingers behind the back of your head as you lift your left leg and wrap it over the right. And widen your arms out slightly above your head, palms facing up. Drop your legs to the right side as you sweep your gaze to the left. Really melt into this pose. Bringing our legs back to the center and swapping over sides. Inhale. Exhale. Floating your legs to the right, gaze to the left. Bring yourself back to the center. Unwrap one leg long at a time. Space between the soles of your feet and your toes falling away from each other. Arms open wide, palms facing up. Your next inhalation, bring your breath from the tips of your toes, the tops of your fingertips. Draw into the center of your body. Pause as you hold your breath in the center of your chest. And then as you exhale, send your breath out and away, right to the outer edges, fingertips and toes. Move your breath inwards and outwards. Connect to the energy, outer edges of your body. Connect to your soul and your heart, the center of your chest. Begin to bring some gentle movements into your fingers and your toes. And then one by one, begin the journey of resetting the soles of the feet flat to the floor, knees coming together. And drop your knees towards the right side of your body, floating your arms to the same side. Just taking a really lovely moment on our sides. Separating your palms and begin to push the floor away through your palms. Protect yourself as you move up slowly to a seated position. Use the strength in your arms to guide yourself there. Crossing your ankles or one foot flat in front of the other. Tall spine once again. A little bit different this time. Allow your palms to float upwards. Connecting to that openness. Tapping again, first finger and thumb for 3. And move individually from each finger to your thumb, tapping for 3. A little pause, allow the palms to open and relax before you start again tapping. Hold and breathe. Open mind, open body. Lifting your hands away from the legs, palms set together. Inhale as you draw your thumbs in towards your breastbone. A long, deep, full breath. Exhale. Squeeze the breath out and away from your body. Inhaling again. Exhale. Draw the tips of your first two fingers to the space between your eyebrows. And we bow forward. Namaste.